Illuvium has been the talk of town in the NFT gaming world. This Web3 gaming giant has amassed hundreds of thousands of community members both in their Discord and on their Twitter. Illuvium has been leading the charge in the NFT gaming industry for over a year now, but will they receive a high score from Balthazar's Alpha team that everyone thinks they deserve? Well, let's explore the research review together and find out. You start the game as a passenger of a transport vessel heading for a distress beacon. When arriving at the destination, you discover a ruined planet that could be the long-lost cradle of a race's civilization. The entire world is covered in a crystal ocean except for a small section of land towering over the sea. The extreme weather on the planet disables the ship's engines, stranding the ship on the surface. Crawling out from the wreckage, you discover strange creatures, some with extreme powers. Fortunately for you, your race has just begun mastering the same energy these creatures possess, and you therefore are able to capture and control the creatures called illuvials into crystals called shards. Shards are mined from the planet's surface, and to uncover the planet's mysteries, you become a hunter, subduing and capturing illuvials across the land. Obelisks may block your path, but over time you'll unlock those as well, opening up more of the world to explore. Following your emergence from the crashed ship, you stumble upon an almanac titled Illuviary. Seemingly one of your kind has been here before, and in the book you find an index of every illuvial across the planet Illuvium. However, all these entries are locked. To unlock the entries in the bestiary, you must find and capture the corresponding illuvial and record its digital signature. Identifying and uncovering the illuvial's biology might just be what you need to uncover the mystery of Illuvium. Images in the research report picked from Illuvium's Medium page will show you some of the regions and what they look like on the planet. I think one of the reasons why everyone's so hyped on Illuvium is because when you see stuff like this, it looks so beautiful and incredible for a video game. There's no caveat of, oh, it looks good for an NFT game. No, it just looks good as a game itself. The lore is enough to get us started here, and I hope they really flesh it out as especially we unlock some of those obelisks and new area of Illuvium. Hopefully that really brings out more of the story behind it. To begin with, Illuvium will host an overworld RPG where players can roam the lands and capture illuvials to use them in the Battle Arena game mode. The Battle Arena is a 3D auto battler similar to Dota Auto Chess or League of Legends Teamfight Tactics. Alongside these, a mobile game is connected to the Illuvium protocol called Illuvium 0. Players will traverse the 7 regions of the continent above the water on this planet. Upon spotting an illuvial in the overworld, you can choose to encounter it, but at the cost of energy. Capturing illuvials requires a shard which would have to be brought, but having a shard with you is still not a guaranteed capture. While trying to capture one, the quality of the shard and your luck will determine a successful catch to add another NFT to your collection. When you enter the overworld game for the first time, you start by customizing your character before selecting your polymorphic subordinate drone, your mechanical assistant. The drone or PSD is instrumental in mining and harvesting. For some players, eventually might be the whole point, and the overworld will provide the explorers with ample opportunities to capture illuvials. It can be very lucrative if you manage to capture a powerful and rare illuvial. Over time, illuvials will be harder to capture as the captured population increases. I really love that they're already thinking about NFT rarity and how to maintain value to their NFTs as you catch them. Making them more rare over time is awesome because then that gives value to those who were there early, but also if you're a newer player and you do happen to manage and stumble upon one of those super rare ones, that is going to make an amazing moment for that player. In the Auto Chess Battle Arena, there will be various flavors such as the Ranked Arena, which is the competitive ladder system, great for PvP and esports. In the Ranked Arena, there won't be an RNG aspect where you get random illuvials to play with, or an outstretched hand when you're behind. Ranked Arena is PvP where you have to bring your own NFTs and be rewarded for your merits. There's also another battle arena called the Leviathan Arena. This is a wagering game where you can bet on the fight's outcome. Finally, the Survival Arena, which focuses on casual gameplay and playing versus the computer. The goal here is to last as long as possible in endless fights, seeing how far you can get. There will also be a PvP challenge in this arena, which revolves around who can last the longest. Here you can see our alpha team at Balthazar got the chance to try out the Arena Beta. We were impressed by the audio and visuals, especially the camera movements, and the deep strategy mechanics of their auto battler. If they can implement the PvP mode in a successful way and also provide enough competitive incentives to rank up and keep playing, we can see Illuvium being a leading game in the auto battler genre in the years to come. If you want to know more of our thoughts about the Illuvium gameplay beta, subscribe to our channel as our gameplay video will be coming out soon. Lastly, there will be Illuvium 0, which will be the hyper-casual game mode for mobile. You can compare it to traditional mobile games like Farmville and similar resource gathering games. The resources gained in Illuvium 0 can be used in the other 2 game modes as well. It's awesome that this game has multiple game modes that can appeal to different players. The question is, can they really bring them all together and make them cohesive? If they can, I can imagine my wife who really likes Pokemon playing in the overworld, capturing illuvials, and then me taking them into battle because I'm more of the competitive player. Then we could bring on one of our friends who's more of the casual mobile gamer, and we could all share resources together. In Illuvium, there will be in-game purchases all transacted in ETH. You can purchase various products and benefits in the game, such as shard curing, imbues, wagering on battles, alluvial revivals, obelisk travel, and enhancements. In-game purchases are something most modern games enable in their marketplace, and although it often grants players a convenience boost, the items such as enhancements that offer powerful attribute boosts are looking very paid to win to us. Focusing on skillful strategy in the ranked arena, we're curious to see how items like enhancements play into the game. When we asked Kieran Warwick about it in our interview, here's what he had to say.
And yes, you need to either collect them or purchase them, but when you go into this ranked arena, every stat is equalized. Because it is crypto, there is another arena, which is the Leviathan arena, and that's where if you do want to go and go up against other whales out there who have millions of dollars and want to buy these assets, that's when, the stats do count. You might have two of the exact same team compositions that are up against each other, but one's stats are way higher than the other, and the chance of you beating that person is very, very low, but you can choose in our game.
Lastly, players will unlock new zones for others to explore and new alluvials to discover. Occasionally, a new region will be released after an obelisk is unlocked. If you're the one who finds the key to the obelisk, it could be a very profitable discovery. After researching Illuvium, the Alpha team decided to give the background a 9 out of 10. Now let's check out the NFT game assets and their artwork. At the game's launch, there will be more than 200 alluvials to discover and capture. Each one of them has unique abilities which play into the variety and strategy when used in battle. There are 5 primary affinities on Illuvium: water, fire, earth, air, and nature. Alluvials of the highest form can form affinities with 2 elements from the 5 base elements. Affinities will provide strengths and weaknesses to the alluvials, much like in Pokemon. Alluvials can be put into one of 5 classes. These are fighters, guardians, rogues, scions, and empaths. When using alluvials for battle, it pays off setting them up in teams with affinities and classes that synergize. Alluvials form symbiotic relationships with each other based on their affinities. If you end up with 3 of the same type of alluvial and they've reached a certain level, you can fuse them into a more powerful beast. It is, in Pokemon terms, evolution. It's good to have so many different options when building out a team, including the alluvial itself, the classes, and the affinity. How I think that sets it apart from other auto battlers such as TFT or Dota Auto Chess is that a lot of the theory crafting is going to be done ahead of time rather than making quick decisions in game. I can really see people spending hours and hours theory crafting of what's going to be the best team, trading them around, looking for a certain alluvial to catch that's going to slot right into the synergy that they are looking for, and there's probably going to be hours and hours of YouTube strategy guides as well being made. As the game progresses and the first generation of alluvials are captured, the team has plans to introduce new generations of alluvials down the line. The sets will be voted on by the Illuvium DAO and will be released steadily as the rarity of previous generations increases. As mentioned earlier, you will need shards to capture the alluvials, and it's no guarantee that they will capture, so you need a bunch of them, and also have some higher rarity ones will give you a better chance at capturing higher rarity alluvials. Unlike in Pokemon, however, in Illuvium, as a player, you can participate in the fight, equipping fancy, futuristic weapons and armor that will make you also ready for combat. Lastly, in the NFT gaming assets, there are the land plots. These land plots are NFTs yielding tokens and other NFTs as resources for use in other aspects of Illuvium. It is tied to the mobile and desktop companion game Illuvium 0 and generates income for the owner or rentee managing the land. After analyzing the NFT assets, Balthazar awarded them a 9 out of 10 and the artwork of Illuvium as a whole a 9.5 out of 10. Now let's jump into the white paper, including things like the blockchain, tokenomics, and roadmap. Illuvium has a primary token called ILV, but since the game is built on top of Ethereum, you can also use ETH for several purchases in-game. The game also has a synthetic token pegged to ILV's value, which works as a gift card in-game. You can look through the rest of our report to learn more about the distribution and things like staking, but one thing I thought was interesting is how they are using it as their governance token. IV holders will govern and maintain the protocol through the Illuminati Council. Wait, let me try that again. Maintain the protocol through the Illuminati Council. The council members will then be elected by ILV holders through nomination, then voting. The nominee will then have votes of those who voted for them. In order to reduce plutocracy, voting is quadratic. This means that the more ILV you vote with, the less they weigh. This is very intriguing to me, especially after Splinterlands released their earlier version of their governance, because people really just took it as, well, all these people with the most amount of tokens, these giant whales, are the ones that are going to be able to control the vote, and so what's the point of voting? This quadratic system is interesting that hopefully gives a balance to power, but I also wonder, does that mean that whales won't want to buy as much of the token? Or will there be loopholes, as I always worry about people trying to scheme the system? Will people split up their tokens across multiple accounts so hopefully that they weigh more? I don't know. Hopefully the team, though, can find that right balance of power. Now, looking at the roadmap, you can tell the team is behind on some of the things in the technology session, but judging by what the team has already accomplished in a highly detailed roadmap, we seem to find little to no issues thus far. As many projects state, creating a game is far from a linear process and is naturally subject to change. This is stated very clearly in Illuvium's roadmap. As for Illuvium's white paper, it doesn't seem like it has been updated in quite a while. There's a lot of focus on the DeFi side of things and how this will be good investment. So we don't feel like this white paper is targeted at the typical Web 2 or Web 3 gamer, but more at the curious gaming crypto enthusiasts. Since Illuvium's inception in 2020, we've seen the narrative change in the grander ecosystem from a play to earn to a big focus on good games with crypto and NFT features. Recently, Illuvium took all their Medium articles and put them on the news tab of their website, consolidating some of their information. It would just be great to see this updated in the white paper as well. Now, while everyone might not really care about the white paper, I think it is a really big deal because it shows not only the team has a plan ahead, but also how they are presenting themselves. With all this in mind, the white paper scored a 7 out of 10. Now on to the team. The team working on Illuvium consists over 150 members. These members were easy to find on Illuvium's website, with most of them having some sort of link to their social media or to their LinkedIn profiles, making it easier to find information on their team members. The team members working on Illuvium have relevant experience in their respective fields. As seen from the team member listing above and from looking through the different mediums listed on the individual members and their previous experience, many of them seem to have some, if not a lot of previous work they can show for. Including notables such as Nate Wells, the game producer on Illuvium, who has worked with huge titles such as BioShock, BioShock Infinite, and has been the lead game producer on games such as Rise of the Tomb Raider and The Last of Us. Alexander Kirilenko, the lead animator on Illuvium, has done freelance 3D modeling jobs for giants such as Pepsi, Sony, and Toyota. There is no doubt that the team behind Illuvium has a lot of talented team members with a plethora of diverse talents and experiences. I think it's really key that Illuvium has such a large team, they're hiring more, and they have great past experience. One of the things I worry about for Illuvium is that they got so much going on between the different game modes and NFTs, which are all incredibly exciting, but seem like they would need a big team behind it to get it done, which it seems like they have, so that gives me confidence going forward. All the confidence that Balthazar has in the Illuvium team has awarded them a 9.5 out of 10. Now, before we jump into the final score of Illuvium, I do want to ask that today you would go over to Balthazar's website to check out some of our other research reports, as well as our Babylon SDK that is going to change the future of Web3 gaming and onboard millions of Web2 gamers. Now for the final score reveal of Illuvium. If you read through the whole research report, you'll see the website scored an 8 out of 10 and their Socialnomics a 9.5 out of 10. Illuvium's Socialnomics score is the highest of any Web3 game rated at Balthazar so far, meaning that Illuvium is the king of social media and community as far as Web3 games go. They have managed to continue to grow their followers during a time when most other Web3 games have lost followers. As for the Alpha team's final thoughts, there is no doubt Illuvium has captured tremendous interest in the Web3 space. Whether Illuvium will be the game that bridges Web2 gamers over to the world of GameFi is quite uncertain on our end. Whether Illuvium can find success as an esport is something we consider detrimental to the general longevity and success of the project, and we would love to see more details and plans in this regard. Illuvium shows touches of brilliance in several aspects. We are overall positive towards the project and especially towards the team. We also want to highlight the incredible and intriguing lore, which is welcome in the space where games often don't prioritize it. To conclude, Illuvium is perhaps one of the most promising projects in the GameFi space. This is reflected in our overall score of 9, which indicates projects we're certain will deliver high quality content to Web3 gaming. So let us know what you think about Illuvium in the comments and our updated pre-released review score of Illuvium. If you want to go even more in depth, check out our full research report or listen in to the interview we did with Kieran Warwick, one of the co-founders of Illuvium. If you haven't seen our Babylon SDK demo yet, you need to check out how this is making it super easy for gamers to get into your Web3 game. Registering for your game also creates a non-custodial wallet. Picking up in-game gold goes into our wallet. In-game NFT marketplace is also a blockchain transaction. Contact us to get registered for a Babylon SDK beta. Thanks everyone for watching.